Hey you should like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Don't do it just because I said so. Do it because you love it. Welcome back to Forte Catholic. Before we move into our 5-minute segment that we left, we had a great conversation about Mass and confession, and Father Anthony also failed and then won brilliantly. Good job. It was a long recap. If you missed it, you can always find it on YouTube or podcast if you're listening there on the radio. Okay. Here's the thing. Episode 200 is next week.
Wow.
And we had very big plans for this. I was going to go, I had this grand idea. I was coming to see you, and then I added a trip up to go see Jonathan Blevins, and I was going to hang out with John for a couple of days, and then come hang out with you, and then go to your brother's wedding. And then over the course of 7 days, every single part of that fell apart. For many different reasons. Flights and COVID and family stuff and school stuff, and everything fell apart, and it made me sad.
Yeah.
So everything we had planned, it was supposed to be an in-person show for episode 200, and it's not going to happen. So now we got to go back to the drawing board. I have another idea, and I think it will work. So
okay.
Stay tuned for next week. We may or may not do something cool. Okay.
Is that every week?
Yes, it's just a regular show. Yeah. All right, let's see if you get this joke. We really it's really a 5-minute segment. I'm just going to throw these things at you, and you're going to react, and then we're going to move on.
Okay.
Saint Ignatius, the only saint to be canonized twice.
Great. Yes, there's 2 Saint Ignatius. Is that what you're talking about?
No. Think about
Ignatius?
Saint Ignatius of Loyola was canonized twice.
Oh, he got hit with a cannonball.
He got hit with a cannonball.
Was canonized.
It's the greatest joke ever. We don't have time to explain it. If you're laughing right now, you're welcome. If not, you have homework from today's Forte Catholic. Go look at the story of St. Ignatius Loyola and then pray a little bit. Okay. Also on the you were talking about one of the words that you gave me earlier was lamp, and we talked about anchorman, where it's like, Brick, are you just picking up things in the room and saying that you love them?
Yeah. And
I started thinking about the word love and the word like in our language.
Mm-hmm.
Because, think about it whenever you're dating. Whenever we were younger, like was less than love. I like this person. I like this person. I like this person. I love this person, right? Yeah. I like them. I'm kind of interested in them. I really like them. I'm dating them. I really, really, really like you is like you're about to say I love you. And then you say I love you, and that's the big thing, right?
Yeah.
I realize that it's flipped now that we're older. Yes, I love my family, but I don't like my family, right? Like has become a bigger thing. So whenever I tell my wife or my kids, it's like, I'm required to love you, but I really like you. That means more than saying you love them. And we've broken the English language, and we've broken the word love.
Yeah, so I think it's like real love demands a lot of sacrifice.
Was that? Were you just listing off all the vowels?
I only got 5 minutes. Let me say my piece. So love requires a lot of sacrifice. And when you grow older, you learn that. When you have a family, my goodness, you learn that. So your family is not always for you. You are for your family. But there's those moments when both your family and you are getting something out of it. It's like, oh, I like this too. So it kind of makes sense. I get it. I love my parishioners. I don't always like them so much.
Right. And I say that all the time. It's like, I love Catholicism. I just don't like Catholics. It's the craziest thing. And I just realized love, and the great, faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is we've broken Catholicism with the English language. Yes. And it's crazy because all of you listening are like, yes, that makes complete sense. And also it makes no sense at all.
Right. Just in your prayer life journal, Jesus, do you like me or do you like me?
Right.
That'll be your prayer exercise for today.
Check yes or no. You know who he was a contemporary of?
Nickelback.
All right, last one. We've got 1 minute left, and I'm going to tell the story. A mutual friend of ours, whose name is Casper. He's not a ghost. I went to his wedding. Not his wedding. His wedding was in April, but they postponed the party until about a week ago. So I drove up there, and almost no one was there. But I mean, percentage-wise, the people that were going to be there before COVID. Anyway, there was just a small group of people, and I realized once I got there, I knew him, and I knew one of my friends and my friend's wife, And I realized that they were all up in the wedding party table. And I went to this dinner. I drove to Dallas, went to this dinner, and I knew absolutely no one. And people kept coming up to me and saying like, oh, how are you connected? Who are you? And I'm like, how do you know the bride and groom? It's like, well, I've never met the bride. Literally the first time I ever saw her was when she walked down the stairs in her entrance to the party.
Yeah.
And the groom, this is the second time I've met him in person because we play video games together. And I did the math. We've spent about 750 hours together, but only seen each other in person twice. So it was one of the weirder experiences of my life, but I extroverted and I had a grand time for 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you can make friendships over video games, you should be able to email paperwork for marriages. I think that's the bigger rule.
That's Forte Catholic for this week. I'll be back next week with maybe something cool. Say it.
Greetings, Earthlings. This is how we're doing the commercial. If you're listening on the podcast, why did my alien just turn to a Southerner?
Well, I mean, that is
Greetings, Earthlings. If you're not watching this on YouTube, you're missing out because I look like an alien right now. And this is how we're going to do the commercial for, hey, Forte Catholic needs some financial assistance. And I've said that before. And some people have been very generous, and it would be great. Like we're just getting started. I know a lot of people are really struggling right now with the global pandemic. But if you have some financial stability and are able to give, I would really appreciate it. I got Southern again. ForteCatholic.com/donate. I'm an alien, but I came from a planet south of here.
Please donate to send Taylor back to space, Texas.
Hey, man. ForteCatholic.com/donate. You can give monthly or one-time gift. It's be real helpful. Take me to your leader.
That was the worst ad I have ever heard.
It's going first. It is so funny.
Hey, it's your livelihood. You put out there what you want.